Hello, moviegoers, and welcome to another edition of Have You Seen It? I am your host, Denise, and we're going to get started with the show today with a little Academy Award recap. If you remember last week, I gave my predictions as well as what critics thought, who they thought should win, who they thought will win, etc., etc. At the end of my predictions last week, I said, watch out, folks, there may be a sweep in all the major categories for the movie Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. And I was correct with that prediction. But I will say that when I gave my predictions, although I pretty much thought that Michelle Yeoh would win Best Actress, I had my heart set on Michelle Williams. I really like her. And in the Supporting Actress category, my heart was with Angela Bassett up until they opened that envelope. And so there you have it. If you want to comment, if you watch the Oscars and you have some commentary, surely put it in the description below on our YouTube channel. All right, so I'm going to get into our movie for this week. This week, my review is the movie 65. This movie stars Adam Driver, one of my favorites, and a young lady by the name of Ariana Greenblatt. She is the supporting person in this movie along with Adam Driver. And then you also have Chloe Coleman and Nika King. So this movie starts with Adam Driver's character having a kind of like a goodbye conversation with his wife and his young daughter. He's about to go on a mission or a voyage, and he's just kind of saying goodbye, but I'll be back. You guys will be okay. Be a good girl, and I'll see you when I get back. So apparently he goes on these missions quite often. So the little girl's kind of like, oh, Dad, but, she understands what his job is. So he's on this research mission, and he's leaving his planet or wherever in the atmosphere he lives, and he's on this voyage. And then he flies through an asteroid belt, which is kind of, pelting his ship, and eventually he crashes. And so although there are other occupants on this ship or this spacecraft, if you will, none of them survive except a young girl whose name is Koa in the movie, and she's played by Ariana Greenblatt. Once Miles crashes, of course, he, assesses the damage and kind of, goes out into the area where he has crashed and kind of does a little reconnaissance. And he has landed 65 million years before this is Earth 65 million years ago. All right. So he does his reconnaissance, and then he realizes that there is an occupant who has survived the crash as well. And that's where he meets Koa. Now, he and Koa do not speak the same language. He speaks English, but she speaks another language. So right there, you see that in order for them to move forward to find other survivors maybe, or find out where they are and kind of look around, they have to communicate. So the chemistry between the two of them was genuine. I really thought they did a good job pairing those two together. So once Koa and Miles start their trek on this planet, they realize that we are not alone and there are creatures among us. So now think Jurassic Park. So you got dinosaurs and creatures that crawl and fly and are man eaters and they eat each other. And so this is not a film where you have these creatures that are passive and just kind of there for optics. They are there and they are killer animals and creatures. So basically, Koa and Miles have to get to a rescue pod, and they've got to go through this terrain, and they've got to, ward off these dinosaurs and creatures, and they're running and they're jumping and they're screaming and they're crawling and they're climbing. And the two of them have to depend on each other to make it to that rescue pod. So in this movie, you see tech being used, but of course it's 65 million years ago. So the tech that you see is, I guess, whatever was available. And the one particular tech device that Miles uses to kind of communicate or check in on his daughter kind of reminded me of like an iPad that had the ability to create kind of like a hologram, so that her presence was kind of like in 3D, if you will. So that's the kind of device that he was using. And of course, he's got all kind of guns and fancy, little bombs and things like that to kind of help him and Koa get to where they need to be. So I enjoyed this movie. I didn't realize that it was a 90-minute movie, and I've said it before, 90 minutes is right up my alley. I thought it was longer than that, but not because it was long and I wasn't bored by it, but I just assumed, this has got to be a 2-hour movie. But it was thrilling. It was adventurous. The cinematography was good. It had a lot of action. And the special effects were good too. So if you are interested in seeing something a little bit different, check out 65 in theaters near you. All right, folks. So next week I will be on hiatus again because my producer is going to take a little vacation for himself. And this weekend is his birthday weekend, so happy birthday to my producer and my BFF and my ride or die. So he's going to take a little vacation and enjoy himself. So until then, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure you type in, "Have you seen it?" with Denise, and there I will be. And remember, I am available on every podcast platform in the universe. All right? So until next week, or 2 weeks, I should say, I need you to go see a movie because I'm going to see a movie. Bye-bye.